Hello and welcome to American Horror Story Season 6 Roanoke. Return to Roanoke. 3 Days of Hell, Chapter 7. So this starts off with our spoilers ahead if you're worried about that. Cool, you're gone? Peace. So this starts off with in the production truck with Sydney when Matt shows up. Not Matt, but the guy who played Matt. I forget. This gets me so confused. So they're both there and they start fighting, and then Sydney's like, yes, who's not coming back for that? So he's excited because they're gonna get ratings. And then Melissa walks in with food. She does without food, and then she starts asking about if you've heard from Deanna, who is Dee from last episode, who mysteriously disappeared in her car leaving. And Sydney says, like, doesn't matter who, like, she's not for the show, who cares? Don't eat her. Anywho, then she walks outside, and the butcher, aka Agnes, slices her throat, and you see Sydney walks out, and he's like, oh my god, get the camera. And he walks out, and you see her gushing blood from her neck, and then the butcher spouts some butcher stuff and smacks him in the back, kills all three of them, and then goes on to do her dirty work. She also stole the camera and put it in the cellar, and she's talking to it, going back and forth, kind of crying hysterically almost. Really confusing, hard to understand her, but she's basically just saying butcher stuff, like, this is my land, and blood, and whatnot, and then going to normal and be like, she's good. So yeah, and then the lady who played Shelby is looking for Rory, and they find a pool of blood, and Matt tells her, like, I told you, R is for Rory, since the R is finally on the wall. And the twins killed him, or not twin sisters, they killed him. The nurses killed him. So yeah, she comes to the conclusion that Brad Pitt, because he got offered a job with Brad Pitt, so he got a better deal, and this is Sydney's way of getting him off the show, and a nice little jab to them for him leaving for a better deal. Bad theory. So yeah, and then Matt and Shelby are talking in the kitchen for a bit, and she's like, I love you, I'm sorry, drunk. Talking about her affair, and he's just like, whatever. And then later, the dude who played Matt, he goes into the privacy booth, and he's like, you know what I like about reality TV? The guy who's the bad guy gets the most screen time, and he's got a body cam now that Sydney gave him because he paid him extra, and he's like, what's better than screen time, America? And like walks off, and then he gets close to Shelby, and he's like, kind of like, I know you remember that night, and like basically egging her on. And then Matt walks in, and he's like, if you want her, you could have her. You could bang her on this table for all I care. And he's like, oh damn. So then the butcher, Agnes, shows up in Shelby's room and slices her on the shoulder and is gonna kill her, and she's on the phone and like, I'm gonna die, crying hysterically and in pain. And then Matt, or not Matt, but the guy who portrayed Matt, came and grabbed her and like bashed her head in the mirror and left her on the floor, and like started helping Shelby, and I was like, oh shit. And everybody helps, and the lady who portrayed Shelby's helping Shelby. I forgot their names, I'm sorry, I'm terrible. But she's tying her thing and like basically covering and putting pressure, because Sydney's dead, no one could call an ambulance. So then Lee, the lady who played Shelby, and the lady who played Lee are going down in the cellar, and they see Edward. He makes a loud sound. Lee brought a gun, a revolver, shoots him. They run out because he came back. He didn't die. So now they're out in the woods, and the blood moves out, and they're running, and they see the people with the torches, and they get off the road and like they're hiding, and then it's the lady who played Shelby's holding the phone camera, and really Blair Witch, shaky camera, running through the woods. She's holding the ear and she's like crying, talking about how she loved Rory, and blood starts falling on her face. And then the other one's like, "There's blood, you're bleeding, you're hurting, you can't." And look up, and there's Rory, like kind of gutted and like strung out in the woods, bleeding down. And then they get captured by what I assume to be the Polk folk, or the Polk family, but they look kind of different than they were portrayed, so I don't know. And Lee didn't recognize them. I'm pretty sure she saw them before. They cattle prod them and take them to their house, and they're rubbing Lee's leg and putting tenderizer on it. They're basically gonna eat her, but they also grow, smoke, and sell marijuana. And kind of like, who's they selling to? Whatever. But they make the other two eat some of her and have them chained up, and the dude's doing blow and the mom's smoking a joint, and they're kind of just torturing the other two and make her eat them. Anyways, then we cut back to the house, and Matt wakes up in the middle of the night and goes to the basement, and he finds the druid, and they start having relations. And then the dude that played Matt saw him go down there, so he followed him because he was sleeping in the living room. So he goes to get Shelby. She comes down and hits the druid with the crowbar, and then he tells her this, because before they're having a conversation in bed about this house took something from each of us, and the marriage pretty much ended when they got there. Which, yeah, I could see that. So yeah, he tells her that this is why he came back for her. He's in love with the druid because she put a spell on him. Duh. So yeah, she hits the druid with the crowbar, and then he tells her that, and she bashes his face in. And then Matt like tries to get her up and gets her to the bathroom, and he's talking to her, and she's hysterical. And he's just like, "You gotta, turn yourself in. There's cameras all over. It'll be okay." When Lee and the others get back, and then they look out the window, and it's the butcher, and she's gonna burn the house down. Which my first thought is, everybody from the house disappears. Why is that house still there? Burn it. So she's doing the whole butcher of my land and blood, and then the real butcher and her people come, and she gets on her knees, and the butcher cleaves her in the face. And that's how it ends. So I'm thinking, how many more episodes are left? This is episode 7. Shelby and the dude who played Matt are the only two left in the house alive. Somebody escapes, I know that. And the other 3 are captured and getting eaten by cannibals. So who knows? I'm here for it though. Peace. See you Sunday.